CJ Stroud, Will Anderson Jr., and the Houston Texans host Bo Nix, Troy Franklin, and the Denver Broncos in a massive AFC showdown. Houston is coming off of a really nice win. They badly needed that against the San Francisco 49ers. They kept Christian McCaffrey in check, only 25 yards on the day on the ground, and was not a massive factor through the air like he has been the rest of the season. Now, for the Denver Broncos, this has been arguably the hottest team in football, right up there with the Indianapolis Colts, with the New England Patriots. They have been playing great football. Not just are they playing well, they're winning in every single type of way imaginable. Frankly, their loss to the Indianapolis Colts, that could be a win against a team that's looked like one of the best in the NFL so far this season. What I like about Denver is, where I'll start here on that side, man, that secondary. I got to give that secondary an applause, because you lose arguably the best defensive player in the NFL in Pat Surtain, and maybe number 2 behind 5-sack Myles Garrett last week. That was ridiculous. But Pat Surtain goes down, and you don't have him out on the field against this Dallas Cowboy wide receiving core. Pickens and Lamb could be the best in the NFL in terms of a wide receiver duo. And on 19 targets, these guys combined for 152 yards and no touchdowns. The rookie, Jahdae Barron. We're just giving out applause and praise to that secondary. A heck of a job. They also got a bit of a boost from that pass rush. This Denver Bronco defense is a top 5 unit. There's no doubt about it in the National Football League. They have been so good. Riley Moss, 4 pass deflections? Are you kidding me, man? Come out here and have a heck of a day. Jonathan Cooper, my man, almost has the interception, drops back into the window of Dak Prescott on a 3rd and 1, I want to say, in the second quarter. Almost comes up with what could have been a pick six, the former Ohio State Buckeye. It's so much fun to watch a team like Denver play with this amount of confidence. A squad that is flying on all cylinders. Your best player on that side of the football goes down, it's all right. Next man up mentality against Dallas. Now, Dak Prescott, he didn't have his fastball. He was 19 of 31, 2 interceptions, but I say that's more of a testament to what this Denver Bronco defense is than Dak Prescott just playing poorly. Because why did he play poorly? It's because of the impact of that defense. Now, how does this secondary fare against the Houston Texans unit that features so many different weapons? Is Xavier Hutchinson coming along now? Jalen Noel, he's carving himself into a larger role on this offense, where there was no Nico Collins. Now, I don't know if Nico Collins will be playing in this game. I would be remiss to say that who would not want to see Nico Collins versus Pat Surtain going at it, a top 10 wide receiver versus the best corner in the NFL. I think Derek Stingley might have something to say about me saying Pat Surtain's the best corner in football. But look, I don't think anyone else is going to give me too much of a hard time for saying that. Look, it's so much more fun when you get to watch the highest caliber players in the league. But also there's such an appreciation for me and Blitz with Blender, what we do here, is when guys step up and you see, yeah, these are NFL players. It's not just the superstar names. There's actually true depth and great players deep in these depth charts to see this Denver secondary step up in that way. And then Houston, is it Braxton Berrios? Is Jaden Higgins? Dalton Schultz, the tight end? Who is it going to be? It seems like there's a different featured guy every week in this offense. Now, with a quarterback that's a true pocket passer, a distributor, a point guard, getting the football to his weapons consistently, and CJ Stroud having the time in this game to do it a bit more. San Francisco, they laid an egg in the sense of the pass rush. No sacks on CJ Stroud. Look how much better CJ Stroud looked when he had time to throw the football, when he had a run game that got yards, with Woody Marks and Nick Chubb having very good days. Him running the football more himself is what I said going into this matchup, what I wanted to see from CJ. This is a Houston Texan team that when they give their quarterback time, they are able to compete with anyone in the world. Anyone in the NFL they can beat when their quarterback, CJ Stroud, has time. He is such a good player. I mean, anyone in the NFL is good, but CJ has that elite processing ability. He has a decent enough array of weapons. And then the run game. Look, Woody Marks out of USC, this guy has been an absolute gem for them this year with an offense needing that burst without Joe Mixon. And then Nick Chubb, of course, he gets 17 carries for 56 yards, the hard-earned yards throughout the day. But that balance forces San Francisco to respect the run, that they have to put resources in the middle, have to stack the box with more players so that they can stop the run when Houston's going at it. And then how are you able to mitigate that amount of players in the box? Well, then it's Houston being able to take advantage with their one-on-one opportunities and guys getting separation. How does Houston win this game against Denver? It's exactly that type of formula against San Francisco. I'm very worried about CJ Stroud if his offensive line can protect him to the level they did last week against the 49ers. You look at a team that's missing Fred Warner. They badly wish they had him in that game. Nick Bosa, one of the best edge players in the NFL. They badly wish that they had him. Would that have been a different game with them two on the field? There's not a doubt in my mind. Those are easily, Fred Warner might be the best linebacker in the NFL, and Nick Bosa is a top 10 edge defender. Let's just put it that simply. I think Houston still wins that game because of how well they played on defense. We'll get to that in a second. But again, it's protecting CJ Stroud, and it is keeping the run game going. I think they got to run the football for around 4.5 yards a carry and can't give up more than 2-3 sacks to be able to not just have drives be stalled out because of negative plays. Defensively, they got to contain this Denver Bronco rushing attack. When Bo Nix is set up on 2nd and 3, this man is lethal with his head coach, Sean Payton. I mean, 19 of 29, high 60s completion percentage, 4 touchdowns, did throw the pick, but honestly, who cares? Bo Nix does that. He's just a darn gunslinger. He attacks you. That's what he does. 179 yards on the ground. JK all day. Dobbins gets to see CJ Stroud, the Buckeyes in this game going against each other. It seems like every week there's a couple of premier Buckeye players in a matchup. He goes over 100 yards for the second time on the season. Look, J.K. Dobbins provides an element to this Bronco rushing attack that, frankly, I don't know I've seen in the last decade. And that makes them one of the most dangerous teams in football because you have an elite defense. You've got a squad that can run the football and keep your great defense fresh and sustain longer drives. And you've got a quarterback that can operate this offense. And now you've got budding superstars with Troy Franklin come along. If you've been watching my Bronco videos, I love me some number 11. I love me some sticks. This kid, Troy Franklin, this guy is a menace on the outside. Him and Bo Nix, they were great together at Oregon. I've been waiting for them to flash. Finally, they flash in the NFL. It's sort of an ongoing theme here with Blitz with Blender. I talk about my man, Troy Franklin. He goes out with a big day. Courtland Sutton does his thing as well, these two wide receivers. And then Pat Bryant, the kid out of Illinois. I think I had to see Pat Bryant play twice in person with the Illini back 2 years ago. And then I don't know if he was on the field much 3 years ago. But no, Pat Bryant, that large body wide receiver, famously that game-ending touchdown a year ago on like a 4th and 13. Illinois goes for it. This kid comes up with his first career touchdown. Just imagine if he turns into more of a weapon because they've already got Marvin Mims and they've got Evan Ingram in this offense. And so they've got budding potential with this offense. And then they pair that, of course, with Bo Nix's mobility, with this offense with a balance between Dobbins and Harvey in the backfield. You're looking at a bona fide contender in the AFC West as well as in this conference as a whole. Whenever you have an elite defense, you absolutely can do that. It is very tough for me to pick this game. Houston is a very good team at home, and they can be in that dome, and they have their conditions just the right way, and their home crowd there at NRG Stadium, and their defense can light their hair on fire. And Will Anderson, Danielle Hunter, and Aziz Alshire decapitating people in the middle, Jalen Petrie and Kamari Lassett. I mean, this defense is loaded. They've got 6-7 absolute studs on that side of the football. Of course, anyone in the NFL, I just look at Derek Barnett, Kalen Bullock. There's guys that are fearless, getting after ball carriers, tackling them, bringing them down, and then Laken Tomlinson in the middle there. This is a Texan defense that's also in the top 5 in the NFL. I'd probably put Seattle a team that Houston just faced. I'd put the Green Bay Packers also in the top 5 there. And I'm trying to figure out who else I'd put in the top 5. I think I'll save that. But Houston and Denver certainly up in that conversation without a doubt. These two teams got a pass rush. They've got cover corners. They've got very solid linebacker depth, not depth, but they've got very good cover linebackers, guys that tackle well, and then safeties that play at a high level. Dre Greenlaw for the Denver Broncos. When they made that acquisition, they brought Dre Greenlaw over. I was like, if this kid can come back, call him a kid, and he's older than me, but if this guy can be healthy for Denver, let's say later on in the season, Dre Greenlaw is an element to the middle of that defense for Denver, and he's fully healthy, geez. That's all I'm just going to say. Geez. Like this dude, he crushes people in the middle. He makes you not want to go over the middle. Dre Greenlaw, oh man, if he can be healthy later on in the season, I know that he's dealing with the suspension and the contact with the referee, but later on in the season, this man can be a monster for the Houston Texans. I like for the Denver Broncos, excuse me. I like the Houston Texans to win this game. If it were at Denver, I'd go with the Broncos. It's not college football where the home environment has like that type of impact, but it still is a large factor. That Denver Bronco crowd has been bringing it all season long. I'm going to go with the Houston Texans with the win, 26-24 on a last-second field goal. Fairbairn hits a 54-yarder. CJ Stroud gets them into position to win this game, and the Houston Texans get back to 500 on the season. The Denver Broncos fall to 6-3. Now, that's kind of an on-the-whim type of prediction. I don't see either of these teams blowing the other out. The defenses are too good. They're going to keep them in the game. Also, the offenses can, bam, boom, just pop off 10, 14 points on consecutive possessions out of nowhere. They have that explosive ability. This is maybe my favorite matchup in the NFL next week, just because I grew up on defensive football, on really enjoying cover linebacker play, on defensive ends that also are really good with their ability to have integrity and get after the quarterback if they're mobile, and good secondary play. Defensive football just sort of excites me in this day and age. It's a little bit harder to watch. It's more fun for the eyeball, sure, where there's more points scored. But for me, I've always been more so of that defensive football fan. I don't know what about me, but I still love me some offense. But I do have fun watching Will Anderson and Jonathan Cooper and guys like Jahdae Barron out of Texas, who's a heck of a player in college. Him stepping up and the rookie coming into play. Well, Denver Bronco fans are very high on him. So for him to step into a role and have to play well and end up doing it, it just makes you applaud. Just makes you feel good for these players. They put their heart and soul into this, and then they get a chance and they succeed. And to play it that well, especially at home against the Dallas Cowboy team that came with a whole bunch of hype and that wide receiving core, and then even like Ferguson, their tight end, he's another dangerous player, and all the talk about Javonte Williams going against that Denver Bronco defense, and they hold him to only 41 yards. He had the 2 touchdowns, I get it, former player, but he was not, a major impact in this game. It just felt like Denver, there's no shot they were really going to lose that game after the first quarter. They just clearly looked like the better team. But I will go with the Houston Texans. I've got faith that they can protect CJ Stroud well enough. I believe that's the key. If they can't, they'll lose. If they can win this game 26-24. Let me know down below in the comments who you see winning this football game. Does Houston drop it at home? The Denver Broncos pull it off. They are the favorite as of right now by 1.5. Let me know. And I just got to say, thank you guys so much for watching. It's meaning so much to me to see you guys engaging and really enjoying these videos. There's a whole lot more coming here. We're only halfway through the NFL season, getting towards the end of the regular season for college football, but there's still 4 rounds of the college football playoff. There's still a conference championship weekend, so really that just means we're halfway also through the college football season. I just got to say thank you so much. You're a huge part of why I enjoy doing this, and I'm going to keep going at it. Please subscribe for more content. Doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't take more than 2 seconds to hit that subscribe button to see more Blitz with Blinder content in the future. I'm Josh Blinder. Thank you so much for watching some football content, and I'll see you guys next time.